Hi, this is Yaro Stark and thank you for watching my video. Today I'm talking about this, my stand-up desk. Now a lot of people have been asking about the stand-up table, in particular how I use it, how I put it together, where I got it from, why I do it. So this video is going to show you all the most important parts about the stand-up desk and of course why I do it. So to answer the question why I use a stand-up table, the best reason I can give you is that it's much better for energy flow, it's much better for your posture, and frankly, it will mean you live longer. I don't know if you've seen, but recently there was a lot of research done on the effects of sitting down at your office place. Most people sit at a desk for their entire working day. That might be anywhere between 6-7 hours of sitting down at the desk. And the studies show that that can actually cut about 15 years of your life off you because of just the bad posture, the impact it has on your body, the energy flow. It's not good. So it could kill you prematurely. So if there's no other reason to get a stand-up table, I think that's by far the #1 reason. In my own personal experience, the reason why I switched to a stand-up table was first as an experiment. I'm not sure who I heard the idea from first, but I know who really had an impact on me. It was Eben Pagan when I took his Wake Up Productive program and he talked about his stand-up desk. And I thought, you know what, I want to give this a go as well. I do prefer not sitting down. I definitely find my energy was quite low the longer I stayed sitting down. So all I did was went to IKEA and bought myself this stand-up table. I then set it up at home, put my computer on top of it and started using it, and it really, really is a lot better. What you need to do is head to IKEA and pick yourself up a tabletop and some legs. Now you need legs that are going to be high enough to reach your belly button. The belly button is the ideal height for a stand-up table. This table actually sits just below my belly button at the moment. Now the table you're looking at is the Vika Amon tabletop wooden version. It's the black tabletop, that's the one I chose. There's all kinds of different tabletops you could actually use though. You don't have to get this one. The important part is getting legs that can actually go high enough to make it a stand-up table. Now if you have a look at the IKEA website, there's the Vika Kaj table legs you can get right now, and they actually basically you screw them like that and that makes them go higher or lower. It's quite a simple process. You just spin the table leg around, it raises or drops depending on what your height is. There's a few different versions. As I said, the Vika Kaj, K-A-J, is the one that I've seen on the current IKEA website, especially for those of you in the United States. One of the things that people often say to me regarding the stand-up table is, don't you get tired standing up all day at the desk? And yes, the answer is you certainly would get tired if you spent your entire day standing up at a table like this. Now I don't do an 8-hour workday and I don't do it standing up at a table. What I do is actually do small bursts of work, somewhere between 1 hour and 2 hour long. Now that actually is the optimum time of output for a work session for me and probably for you as well. You can actually back this up by doing a bit of research into the ultradian rhythm. I first heard of the ultradian rhythm from Eben Pagan, who actually teaches it from his mentor in the area, Tony Schwartz, who does a lot of study into energy management, in particular with high-performance athletes. The ultradian rhythm just refers to some cycles that our body has, and there's actually quite a few different cycles that go on 2-hour rhythms. Now, I'm not going to get too scientific. The simple answer to this question is that after about 2 hours, your performance will start to degrade. What you need is recovery time. And the best way to recover is actually to switch activities completely. So what you should do is spend about 2 hours or less working at the table and then go and do something else. Now in my case, I will go and cook my lunch. I will sit on the couch and read a book or watch something on the TV. I will go do some exercise, do some weights, or maybe go for a skate. I might go out and socialize with my friends. Whatever it is, I will switch activities completely. And then I might come back later on during the day and do more work at the desk. So there's never a period where I do continuous 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours of work at the table. Now that's really important because you will get tired standing up. So, I certainly have had periods where I've become tired and I've gone and sat on the couch for even 15 minutes just to refresh my body before doing work. But I think you'll find that the energy levels you have at a stand-up desk are so much better than a sit-down chair at a desk. It's something about the way you're standing, and if you have good posture when you're standing up, if you set the table up correctly so that your view of the monitor is at the correct height. If you're wondering how I do that, I just have my Mac monitor sitting on a couple of shoe boxes, or one shoe box and another box, that just raises the monitor so that I'm looking at it's about 2/3 up on the monitor is where my eyes would sit if I'm looking directly at the monitor. And that just means my head doesn't need to look down or up, which can be bad for your neck. So you do need to get everything right for the stand-up table. You need the legs and the table at the right height, your belly button. You need the monitor sitting on something so it's raised a bit so you're looking straight at it rather than up or down. And then you have to make sure you take breaks, switch activities, and do small chunks, bursts of work, not sitting there or standing there for 8 hours a day, because you simply won't be able to keep up your energy level, your work quality will degrade, and it goes against your body's natural rhythms. As you will see with my setup, I actually have a middle leg. It's a 5th leg. Now this is optional. I just did this because I have quite a long table and I like to support the middle of the table because it was warping a little bit due to the weight of the monitor and the computer. So what I did was I just went and bought a 5th leg. I didn't actually screw it in using the screwing bolts that you get with the legs. I just put it there, raised it up so that it was supporting the middle of the table. Completely optional. You may get a table that's actually not as long or as wide as this table is, in which case you won't have the problem. And of course your computer might not be as big and heavy as mine. I've got quite a large monitor. It's a little bit old now, so it does weigh quite a bit. But that's pretty much it. That's what goes together to make my stand-up table. It's simple. Just get a table that raises up to your belly button. Make sure your monitor is positioned well. Take breaks, switch activities, test it out. You'll notice your posture's better if you make sure you do stand up correctly. You'll notice you get more work done. One of the things I love about it, it's so easy to step away from the table. Now this is something you can't really do when you're sitting down. You tend to get trapped when you're sitting down in a chair at a desk. You sort of have a difficulty getting up and leaving. So it just makes more sense to stay there longer, which is not good for your body. At a stand-up table, there's no impediment to move. I can just walk away anytime. Now you might think that's a bad thing because it makes you procrastinate, but I think it's actually great for your body. I'll often just walk off very quickly, grab a drink of water, go to the fridge and get a snack, go to the bathroom, go outside, get some fresh air. It's just, there's no barriers to doing that. And I think that's actually refreshing. That will recharge me and then I can jump straight back into the work. That may not be the way you work, but I'm pretty confident you'll find that there are quite a few different aspects of the stand-up table that just make you more productive and give you more energy. I don't get as tired as I did sitting down. I know that sounds ironic, but really the process of sitting down, I think, just makes your body get weaker. It's not optimal positioning of your spine. It's just not healthy. Where standing up, it's what your body's designed to do. If you stand correctly, then you will definitely get a better outcome from the stand-up table. All right, I hope you enjoyed this short presentation on how to set up your stand-up table and why I use a stand-up table. A reminder that this could actually save your life, so it's worth considering and trying it out. I've seen some people who are extra eager and they actually use a treadmill, a very slow-moving treadmill along with the stand-up table, so they're actually doing a slow walk as they work during the day, and that can actually help you lose weight. So there's all kinds of health benefits if you really go a bit crazy with the stand-up table concept. Try it out yourself. I'm sure you get heaps of benefit. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So I hope you enjoyed this little video. I will talk to you again very soon. My name is Yaro Stark. If you have not done so already, please join my email newsletter. You can do that right now by going to yaro.tv, Y-A-R-O.tv, and then you'll see all my other videos on my YouTube channel as well. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Now the legs I put together with the Vica Amon tabletop is the Vica Jazz. Wow. The legs I ended up buying after some testing around with different types of legs was these. Actually, I don't know what they are. Try again. If you go to the but I don't think I actually have the Vica Kaj ones. I have something similar. I'm not sure what they are. But anyway, I have no idea how this video is going to come together. It's a mess. Okay.